Meditation. I'm fucking practicing meditation. Do you know why I'm practicing meditation? Let me tell you. Let me tell you, the viewer, maybe you've never even seen my channel. I'm gonna tell you why the fuck I'm practicing meditation. I was making a video, a really nice, cool video. I spent 30 minutes talking to the fucking camera. Staring like a fucking dork at the camera for 30 fucking minutes, yapping about nerdy pseudoscience, as many like to call it, and it went to shit. All of it got fucked. The file got corrupted. Couldn't even open it. So my ass was like, oh yay, I'm gonna edit my video. Yay! Do you think that happened? No. It didn't happen. Okay. Anyway. Let's start anew. So today I actually wanted to talk about EIEs, the portrait of an EIE. Obviously I've made this video like a year ago or so, and that was back when it was very Western Socionics coded, right? A very like provocative joker who likes to provoke people and express himself regardless of the environment. They just don't care, they express themselves. Is that EIE? No, right? Now the expression of FE and FI, people always argue about this. You know, the FE base is the one that expresses his feelings, the FI base doesn't, the FI doesn't. It's no. Both FE and FI express their feelings. They both do. It's just different, okay? One, it has to do with their personal attitudes, and the other one has to do to express, to manipulate the emotional environment, right? To infect your mood, to influence your mood and your feeling. That's the difference. They both express, just differently. The why is different and the how is also different. EIE's FE is conscious, okay? They consciously use it to impact your feeling, to impact your mood, to impact the emotional atmosphere of the environment. It's consciously used. When we think of an EIE character that really captures the essence of the type, we imagine someone like Daenerys Targaryen, right? Who is a very good example of it. Now, Daenerys Targaryen is not exactly a motherfucking clown. She's not gonna do jumping jacks for you and be like, yo, I'm goofy, haha, I'm random, lol. I'm more likely to do that shit than a fucking EIE. In fact, she can be quite a bit more serious. She can be quite cold.
That's what she thinks our mercy is. Weakness.
I beg you, my queen.
She's wrong. Mercy is our strength. Our mercy towards future generations. He will never again be held hostage by a tyrant. Next time you fail me, will be the last time you fail me.
And the reason for that is because, yes, their FE is conscious, but if we want to throw a charge or two, their FE is also minus. Designed to calm down the emotional environment, designed to impact someone, to calm the feeling down.
Do nothing when I speak of this. You must remain calm and contain your emotions.
Which is why their LSI is dual, right? The LSI feels anxious about time, passage of time, or maybe their own capabilities. And the EIE knows how to relax the LSI, how to calm them down. That's what it does. And if you compare this with the other FE base, which is ESC, they are FE+, more focused on cheering people up, you know, laughing, having that kind of emotional response is what they want. It's FE+. So the idea of this EIE as this caricature of an individual who's super fucking unstructured, chaotic, and a spurgy monkey is just simply not fucking true. It just doesn't matter. It is simply not true. And the idea of an EIE is more aligned with an IEE in Western Socionics. The ENFP archetype. Why the fuck do you think there's so many people still believing that ENFP fits EIE so well? Literally, that's what it is. It's literally ENFP fucking archetype IEE. And it kind of makes sense. IEE has FE+, and it has unconscious FE, right? So their use of FE is quite good, but it is more chaotic. It's used very naturally, but it's not really used with a measure, like, for example, EIE would.
Something tells me a whole lot of people are about to die. Hey guys, sorry I'm late. Had to go number 2.
They can cheer people up. They can kind of annoy and irritate people. Oftentimes it's hit or miss depending on the individual. EIEs are always crafty with the emotional impact. Always crafty. That's the point of EIE. Now you combine all of that and also the fact that the IEE is a rational type. They tend to be more unstructured and more chaotic, and also a person who likes to get reactions out of people, likes to receive emotional reactions. And now you have this beta quadra EIE. Have you ever wondered why sometimes you see those EIE characters like maybe Berlin, and they get typed ENTJ, and it's not really that bad. They can be commanding with it, right? They seem to have a lot of TE, and everyone's so confused. There's actually a good reason for that. I'm gonna explain that. We're gonna discuss the mental ring of the EIE. So EIE's TE is on the superego, right? And it is a role element. Because it is role element, it's normative. Now, this is a very important word because you'll hear normative, non-normative. It's very important. Normative means someone that adheres to the pre-established rules of how the element is used. Right? You're not really being creative with it. You're not adding anything new of yourself. That's literally what normative it is. It's this adaptable to the external, adaptable to expectations, right? That's what it is. EIEs can be fairly good at managing people's workflow, managing the method of how to do things, imposing methods of action and movement. But all of this is done according to a pre-established parameters.
Ha llegado la hora de ser prácticos. La utopía de la colaboración ha fracasado. Estamos todos preparados para que yo regrese al mando. En los campos de concentración, el respeto se da por descontado. ¿Vais? A picar el túnel hasta que os sangren las manos.
EIEs can be quite pragmatic and effective leaders. People who know how to tell people what to do and what not to do. They will find issues in their superego, which is TESI, and they will solve those issues with their ego block, which is FENI. This will result in an EIE seeing the functioning of the world, movement of the world, methods of action, rules, and even effectiveness, and they will see how all of this is repeating itself. It's always the same. It lacks any effectiveness, and nothing changes due to people's inefficiencies. They will develop collectivistic ideals based in ethics in favor of a magical vision of the future. A vision that is showing how to solve those issues. And this is going to be done by manipulating the emotional atmosphere, making people feel a certain way, impacting their moods, giving speeches. They assert in a passionate and dramatic fashion.
The moment has come to share my vision of the future that awaits if we do not rise up, take our rightful place in the world.
That is what we are fighting. That is the enemy.
And here, dramatic is a word I think people really need to understand. Because when I'm saying dramatic, I'm not saying Jinx from Arcane. That's mentally ill. I'm not saying fucking Jinx. I'm saying more like Berlin from Money Heist. Now, Berlin is a very theatrical individual.
Te mandé a matarlo un viernes y hoy es domingo. Domingo de Resurrección!
The EIE is also good at calculating their actions, calculating the energy and accordance to time. They are not impulsive and they are not quick to action. It's also stated that they dislike sudden and inappropriate movements, which is why, again, they're dual of an LSI, and the LSI is known for actually having very stealthy movements. It's like a motherfucking cat. I swear to God, it's a cat. Now let's talk about the vital ring of the EIE. So SI polar doesn't make them dirty. SI polar doesn't make them unclean. SI polar is not a blind spot. In fact, no polar element is a blind spot. Okay, and I'm the fucking person who used to argue with people how I think this is bullshit. I never felt fucking insecure about my FI. I never thought, I don't give a fuck about my FI. I'm blind to it. This is bullshit. You guys are wrong. And I used to say this type of shit, but guess what the fuck happened? Retap as an SE. So you're not supposed to be indifferent or blind to your vulnerable. It's supposed to cause stress. It's supposed to be something you're conscious of. It would make no sense to be unaware of your biggest weakness. EIEs are described as people who can even dislike doing chores in front of other people. They dislike eating in front of other people. They dislike seeing other people eat in front of them. So if you see someone talking about how they don't sleep, how this, how that, fucking insomnia, dirty pigs, and there is a high likelihood that this individual is not even SI vulnerable. No type, literally no fucking type, is proud of their vulnerable element, and EIEs will also try to distract you from their weakness. Okay, they will try to drag attention to something else.
Qué agradable visita.
People often think, EIEs can be very aesthetic. That is true. Where does this sense of aesthetic come from? From SE. Yes, guys, external aesthetics of an object is SE information. The EIE can dress elegantly and they can have their own sense of aesthetics.
¿Le habrías pedido a Michelangelo que dejase de esculpir a su David? No, no, claro que no. Le habrías dicho Forza. Michelangelo. Continúa a fare quello que te apasiona. A un pintor o a un poeta, lo mismo. Sigan cultivando la belleza. Y este golpe, Sergio, es una apología de la belleza.
It can be even used as a way to attract their dual LSI. And the LSI again is a Chadwick of aesthetics. EIE can do all of this not only with aesthetics but also with kinetic energy or even volitional pressure. All of this is also considered SE. So this is what you guys also need to remember. Maybe I should actually make revision of the elements. But SE is not ambition. SE is not status. SE is not having a big dick. SE is not, again, right, being the most successful alpha male. None of this shit is SE. SE is simply aesthetics of the external objects, kinetic energy, volitional pressure, willpower. Now EIE's FI is on the ID block, which is gonna be the ignoring placement. Ignoring is adaptable to society and mostly adaptable to the dual's role element. You will see here the EIE adapting their FI to the FI role of LSI. The LSI's role FI is very normative. It hates any changes done to their attitudes, and if they see inconsistency in their partner's attitudes, personal attitudes, they are quick to, again, fall into a state of paranoia, experience the anxiety regarding that. And that's what EIE will do. They will adapt their FI to the FI of the LSI, and that will calm the LSI down. All of this doesn't just apply to LSI, it applies to society. EIE will adapt their attitude to the attitudes of other people, of the collective. They're not concerned about their liking, their dislikings of people. All of that personal attitude it remains in the background, which is why the EIE is really considered the more social altruistic leader concerned about humanity and the greater good of the collective. Their personal attitudes are subordinated to the collective. Now lastly, with EIEs and E, quite good at spotting the potential in people, very good in spotting talent in other individuals, capabilities. So that's something that the EIE is very good at. If you got any questions, comment down below, and I'm gonna be bouncing. So bye, ciao, see ya.